Happy Sunday, Stampers and Paper Crafters. This is Facebook Live number 338. My name is Joy Borwedge, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in Burnsville, Minnesota, and I have been a demonstrator since August of 1999. I have an absolutely gorgeous card for you tonight. It's somewhat simple, and there will be a winner. I have to wait for a little bit just for people to, come on and check it out and then give me a thumbs up or a heart. That gets you entered into the drawing. And if you leave a comment, all you have to do is say hi. Then you get entered into the drawing for that. You can say other things as well. You could say, this is my first time visiting you. I'm from Texas, or it's really hot here in Wisconsin. It's very warm here in Minnesota, so I'm only guessing it's warm in Wisconsin right now. You can say, something nice, whatever. And then if you share this on your timeline, you get entered 2 times. So you have 4 different ways to get entered to win the card that I present tonight. And you don't have to buy anything in my online store, but if you want, go ahead. Because right now, there's a great deal. We'll be talking about that in just a second. I'm going to put you down at the table, and if you get motion sickness or anything like that, look away, and I'll let you know when I'm done messing around with the camera. All right, so hold on. So like I said, today is Sunday, so hopefully everybody had a great weekend so far. There's still some weekend left, so okay, here we go. We're loosening it up, and the more I do this, I didn't loosen it up enough. The more I do this, I try really, really hard not to mess it up. But there, okay. So now I'm going to tighten it up a little bit and center, hopefully. Get this moved over. I'm trying to do this without the least amount of movement, and just because I moved and I have a different place, so my window, or actually my table actually now faces a window, and at the house it had space on the other side, so I could really center it and see where I was sitting. And so now, because I'm basically up against a wall, it's kind of hard for me to go around and see where my camera's sitting. So again, my name is Joy Borwedge. I have an Instagram page at Stampin' for Joy, and my online store is stampinforjoy.stampinup.net. The host code is NQ3UVNXR. So you can use that host code when you have an order that is under $150. When your order is over $150, don't use that host code, because you're going to get Stampin' Rewards from Stampin' Up!, which is free product that you get to choose out. All right. So also, penguinz33@outlook.com is my email address so that you can request a copy of the catalog. If you do not have a demonstrator, and if you wish to purchase from me, go ahead. I will love to send you a catalog. Now, it does not come spiral bound. I did that myself. I went and had it done. So it just sits and lays on the table better. So tonight we are going to be using the Spotlight on Nature, and that is a bundle. So a bundle means it is a stamp set and a die set, or it could be, how about that one right there? That's actually a stamp set and a punch. Now, the items that are here that you see on this page, and several others that are kind of a little bit smaller, that means they are a returning product. And so when you see something full size, that is something that is new to the catalog. So it's been introduced to this catalog and you've not seen it. Now there's also something that's called online exclusives. And what that means, it's not going to see a publication. So you can go to my online store. You don't have to be a specific member or anything. And you could certainly go and check those out. Now, right now, a new online exclusive that was introduced July 3rd is called Season of Green and Gold Sweet Collection. Now, I haven't purchased any of the new online exclusives yet, just because I was trying to get the event done. And so now I'm trying to use some things I already have. Judy, hi, welcome. So what it means to be an online exclusive is, like I said, it will not see a publication. So right now, the suite that you see here is actually a mega suite. And what that means, it comes with a stamp set and a die, and then another stamp set and a die. Now, these here are stamps that do not have any words. So right here, images. I was trying to, words are hard. So right here, it's just images. And then the dies cut them out. Also, there are some images that are additional in the dies. And then now this one, here are greetings that have the tags that are the bundle dies for this one. So if you purchase the online suite collection, you get one of everything you see here. And that is actually a great way to go. You save the 10% on both the bundles, and then also you get, so it is $153. Well, right now, in the month of July, Stampin' Up! Has offered bonus days. And so what that means is for every $50 you purchase, you get a $5 off coupon emailed to you so that you can, hi Sherry, welcome, so that you can spend that $5 off coupon in the month of March. So like this right here would be the perfect example of number one. Seeing as how this suite is $153, that's considered a workshop. So you get hostess benefits based upon the subtotal of your order. Stampin' Up! Gives you that. You get to choose whatever you wish. Then you also get three $5 off coupons emailed to you. And I believe if it's one order, then you get one email with 3 codes. And you can choose to use all 3 codes at the same time in August, or you can see how much codes you can gear up in July, and then you can spend them all on one order or divide them up, however you choose. So that is one way to get it. And then also we have the Simply Zinnia suite. Now that was introduced a little bit ago, along with the Encircled in Nature bundle. So what that means, again, it's a stamp set and the dies, and then you get 10% off. Now the Changing Leaves bundle was introduced in the online exclusives, as well as the Portions and Spells bundle. Now, another one that is really cool to get would be the Iconic Celebrations Suite Collection. Now, it is made for several celebrations. So you have hearts, snowflakes. These could be snowflakes. They could be kind of stars. Leaves, candles. And now if you look at the dies, you have items that cut out the stamp sets. Also, these dies cut out items in the Designer Series paper too. So this is a really cool way. So like the candles, that could be birthday, that could be also, let's see, I would say birthday would probably be the best one. Down here in the designer series paper, we have trees and boughs and candy canes, and I can't tell what that is. You have some really beautiful plaids and stripes and snowflakes, winter. This right here is like a sunburst, so it could be New Year's. Same thing with that could be the champagne glasses. That could be New Year's. It could be an anniversary. It could be a promotion and a job. It could be a wedding. So all these designer series paper, it's a stack of 48, and you get 4 sheets of each piece. So like when you see the main piece here, this is its back side. So the trees and then the leaves. And then you see the boughs and the candy canes. So you get to choose which side you use. So check out the online exclusives. And like I said, for every $50 you spend in the month of July, you get to earn a $5 off coupon. And like I said, it doesn't matter. We do not judge how many coupons you collect, but you have to use them in August, because otherwise, once August ends, you lose those codes. Okay, so I want to say, number one, a lady at work gave this to me, and this is like when you have your phone. My phone is recording, so you can have, she made this, and I just wanted to say thank you very much, Linda. This is absolutely gorgeous, and I have it on my stamp desk. And then Irene sent me this card, and it is a very beautiful card, and it's a fun fold. So it opens up like that. Now, isn't that cool? And so I just want to say thank you, Irene, for sending me this card. She was thanking me for, she wanted a catalog, and she lives in Farmington. And so I drove it out to her because she said she would come out to my place. Well, I don't live in a house anymore. I live in an apartment. So if I left a catalog outside the apartment, do you think it would still be sitting here for her? I don't know. So I drove it out to her. So she's thanking me for coming out and delivering it to her. And she lives way out in the boonies, because Farmington, you know, it's not too far from, but Farmington's a big place. All right, so let's show you what we are going to be using in tonight's gorgeous, gorgeous card, if I do say so myself. Okay, so first of all, we are using the Spotlight on Nature and the dies. Now the dies, I actually split mine up so that all the same are on the same page. So from when it comes to you, it comes a double pager, so one side and the other side, and everything is encircled with the perfect fit. But I wanted to see the same items and the sizes that they would be. So I split it up. And so we're going to be using the dies. And so again, this is a bundle. So now it's back in stock. Okay. And so when you purchase again, these together, you save 10%. So we're going to be doing something a little different with this. And it's simple. It's a simple card for joy. So we're using that. We're also using the Wonderful Thoughts stamp set. Now there are dies that coordinate with this. It is not a bundle because it was introduced in another publication, but they are still available. So it's on page 80 in the annual catalog. And you might say, hey, why are those numbers on there? So what I did is I numbered my dies. Now there are some extra pieces in here that go beyond cutting the words out. So you can either stamp these on your card or you can cut them out and pop them up. So these are the Wonderful Thoughts dies. Now, like I said, they were introduced in another publication, but I went and I said, this is number 1, and so I labeled number 1 up here. This is number 13. Number 13 is right there. So when I do, say, Facebook Lives, or when I'm stamping in a hurry, I'm not sitting there saying, because these are backwards, right? Which ones do they fill or fit with? So I labeled, and so they coordinate. So that's why there are numbers on there. And so we're using that, but we're not using the dies. And then we're also using the Something Fancy dies. And these are on page 79. And it does have a coordinating stamp set, but again, they're not a bundle because, again, they were introduced in another publication. Okay, so that's part of it. So this is what we're using. And so I just want to keep my magnet sheet. And then also, we are using the textured metallic foil. I wanted to use pretty paper. And these are on page 110, and they're very shiny. So I'm going to try to see if I could get it without too much glare. So there is a copper, and this is called tungsten, and this is gold. Now you could see, I'm going to try to lay this, see if I could get it so you could see the, okay, I got the light from the window, so you could kind of see the texture. So it is kind of like something kind of made lines in it, but it's not too terribly stressed, because we're going to actually stamp on it tonight. And you'll see in just a moment. Now, let me show you how I do this. So anything that I cut into, I put on the back side of my cardstock. So anything, well, actually, that's not the back, but you get 3 sheets. You get 1 of each in here. So I basically cut everything out of these sheets so I can keep it in the front. So that is called textured metallic. And the reason why I do that is so that way it doesn't matter if I have the front or the back, but it helps me when I have them, I have everything labeled. So then that way I know what I have, so I could pull it forward and see the Designer Series paper. Because like I said, I wanted to play with pretty paper today. Now, we also have oxidized copper specialty paper, and this is on page, now that was on page 110. This is on page 111. And now you will not see, I'm going to actually get that catalog out again. You will not see the full pieces, because you will see just a slight amount right here. Right here is the peacock, the pretty peacock, and then right here is the copper. So don't let that fool you. So you see the pretty peacock and you see the copper. Now we're going to be using this, and we're going to actually be stamping on it today, and I'm going to show you how to do that. All right, so then again, anything that I cut into, I keep it on the back side, and then all my front full sheets stay on the front. And then that way I go to the back and I find what I need to fit first, so I'm not constantly breaking into full sheets when I need a smaller piece. Okay, would you guys like to see the card that we're making? I should tease you. All right, there we go. That is the card we're making today. And so somebody's going to win this card. And all you have to do is do a thumbs up or a heart. That will get you entered into the drawing. If you leave a comment, all you have to do is say hi. If you're somebody new to me, you can introduce yourself and tell me where you're from. That will get your name entered into the drawing as well. And if you share this on your timeline, if you think that this card is cool and somebody might enjoy watching the video, put this on your timeline. That gets you entered 2 times. All right, so here are the pieces and the measurements that we're going to be using. And the reason why I do that is so that somebody can come back and say, you know what, Joy made a really cool card the other day. I'm going to copy it. Now you can copy it exactly, or you could put your own spin on it. Doesn't bother me at all. I want to be inspiration. Here is a scrap piece of paper of that copper. I have a piece of basic beige. It's actually a scrap piece of paper as well. I have a piece of basic black, which is 4 by 3. I cut 2 pieces of the Designer Series paper of each. So one's the oxidized and one's the copper. And see if you could see some of that texture in there. It's really cool. So 3 by 3. And then, let's put that like that. I made a bow using the Baker's Twine. It's on page 113. It's the Essentials pack. And I already made the bow. And let me show you a little tip that I like to use. I take my scissors and put little notches in there so I can always find my end. It really bugs me when I don't find it and I'm tearing this part off before I find my end. So then also it doesn't unravel. So we're using that. And then I was hoping we, had some type of copper ribbon or embellishment. We do have the copper embellishments. These are the adhesive-backed metallic gems. I absolutely love these. Love, love, love. All right. We also have a piece of basic beige. This is going to be the part of our card. So it's 10.5 by 4. And I scored it at 5 1/4. It's going to be our card. And then our base for our card is 5.5 by 4.5. Now, I'm just going to leave that sit there for a little bit. And that way, somebody can come back and pause it, get the measurements. Now, you may not have basic beige, so you could use Very Vanilla, or you can use basic white, whatever color you have. If you don't have the oxidized or the textures, you could use whatever Designer Series paper you have. But the idea for me is to show you how to stamp on them. All right, so let's get stamping. Now we're going to be using, I'm going to actually first of all take these off. And I'm going to explain to you a couple things before we get going. And we have Memento and we have StazOn. So we're actually using both. When you have a shiny surface, say like the texturized foil, and that would be the tungsten, the gold, or the copper, or if you wanted to stamp on this, you would have to use StazOn. You can also use StazOn on the window sheets, but you have to make sure you stamp straight down and lift straight up, because these guys could be very slippery, okay? When you use StazOn, you have a StazOn cleaner, okay? You do not want to use the StazOn cleaner when you have photopolymer, because you will turn that into a gummy bear. It will basically break down your photopolymer stamp. So, whoops, sorry about that. So when you use StazOn, you want to use the red rubber. Okay, so this technique would not work very well with your photopolymer with the StazOn unless you don't care it's staining and you just clean it really, really well with your Stampin' Mist. That will not break it down. So I will actually use this with my, what I call the rubber scrubber. This side, there are raindrops right there, and over here there's supposed to be a sun. I probably put this in backwards so I wouldn't see it, but what this means is that this side's wet and this side's dry. And so what you do is, I have a tad bit of water, not very much, but I have this set aside so that when I use my StazOn, I will clean it off pretty quickly, or I'll just spray the StazOn on my stamp and then just let it soak, so that I get the best clean for that. And then everything else with the Memento will be cleaned with my Simply Chamois. Hi Rhonda, welcome. You're right, I had to take a drink. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to stamp this image in the basic beige. Now, if this stamp, how you doing, Rhonda? I haven't seen you on here live. I see you normally after it posts. So thank you very much for watching. If this is too light for you, and this right here is too light, you can put a black piece of cardstock behind it so that the words pop up. This was newly introduced and with this catalog, so it's now part of the neutrals. So that would be, sorry, neutrals? Basics. So basic black, very vanilla, a basic white, and now basic beige. So what we're going to do is, I'm actually going to use this twice tonight. So we're going to use this, we're going to just tap, tap, tap. And now we're going to tap this. This is our first generation, and then this is going to be our second generation. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So that's first generation. This is second generation. So I'm going to clean that off. You know what? It is awesome live or not, because I do go back and see the comments. So if you watch a replay, I'm going to be using this also in StazOn. So I want to make sure that this is nice and clean. But let me show you what the greeting looks like, full strength. Now, because this is not going on anything foil, we're actually just going to use the Memento. So we're just going to go tap, tap, tap. And so we're going to put this here. It's a little crooked, but that's okay. We're going to use a die. And I'll let you guys choose which one. I actually kind of like the actual, that one. See, this just has some, it's just a faded look. You probably can't see it very well. Just an outline. You know what? We just might use that. Okay, so I needed to use that leaf to clean it. So then that way, we need to stamp on the shiny parts ASAP so that it gets a good chance to dry. And because we're going to have to cut them out through the die machine, and we just want to make sure that they're dry. And if not, then we'll have to go back in. So I'm actually going to clean off the thank you with the Simply Chamois, because we're done with that one. Okay, so we're going to stamp on here with the StazOn. Now the StazOn, when you order the ink pad, you always want to order the re-inker that goes with it, and keep this plastic protector, because what it does is it helps it not dry out as quickly, because this ink dries out really fast. And I did re-ink it right before I started my practice card. Last Thursday, I kind of had a card in mind, but I didn't have a sample to follow. And so we were flying, what was it called? Stamping on the fly. And so I kind of had an idea of what I wanted to do, but I hadn't made it. So this was Facebook Live number 337 on Thursday. So if you want to see how that was made, go ahead, go back and watch the replay, and like and share it and get entered, because you can still win. It takes me a while to pick the winners, just because I want everybody a chance to see it. Now, this is a larger stamp set, so I am actually taking the ink pad to and I'm just going to set it in there in my plastic container, upside down. And we're going to take this and we're going to stamp this not too far up to the sheet. And the reason why is because we're going to cut this out. And so I want to make sure that I have enough space with the die. I'll just grab a die. I want to be able to have enough space to cut it out properly. So now this is foil, so it's going to take just a little bit to dry, and so I'm going to put this off to the side. And now we're also, like I said, I'm going to spray this and I'm going to lay this right on top of everything, and I'm going to move this out of the way just in case I get any spritz on it. I'm going to try to do it just over this, and so I'm just going to spray that quickly, and then I'm going to let it soak. And then that way, after I'm done with my Facebook Live, I'll come back, and this is wet and this is dry, and then I'll go back in with the Simply Chamois and get any extra bits off. So that's how I do that. Doesn't make it right or wrong, but I'm doing a Facebook Live, so I want to be able to clean it off. If I let it sit there and let it dry, that's going to get kind of icky. All right, so here's our other one that has foil on it, so we have to use the StazOn. All right, so now you can either take the ink pad to the stamp, or you can take the stamp to the ink pad. Doesn't matter. This one's not too big and it sits in my hand just fine. And I'm going to put this at a diagonal, and again, not getting it to the top too close. And also you want to make sure you stamp straight on. So you can kind of see that there is an image on there. It's going to dry a little bit, but you'll see that image later. So again, I'm going to spray this. And I was going to say, you know what? I might as well do my butterfly right now, and then I'll spray them both at the same time. In that stamp set, just push down, try and push up, push down, and then lift up so that you don't smear it, okay? And then now we have, once it dries, then we'll have enough time to cut it out. But actually, I did one earlier and I cut it out. So I already have that, just in case, you know, magic of television, or video, I should say. Because this is not television. Unless you put me on your television and do the YouTube or whatever, I don't know. My husband does that every once in a while. I'm like, do not put me on TV. Oh, I don't want to see that. All right, so I'm going to let that sit. until we're done, because you don't need to sit there and watch me clean it. But now I'm just making sure that it's going to be clean. Okay, so I forgot I need that leaf. Oh, so we're gonna go clean that leaf. When I design a card, I don't always design it the same way that I put it together for you guys. You know, I'll start with one session and then, okay, so I'm just going to really scrub that really good. And there might be some splatter when you do this, so you want to make sure that nothing is around you that could get overspray. And, okay, I think I got it. Because we're going to go, I forgot that because I designed the front of the card first, and then I decided what I was going to do for the inside, and then I forgot that I was using this leaf on the inside. So I should have, when I did this leaf, I should have done the leaf for the inside. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to open this up. Put that back in. And now you could do this a couple ways. You could start this leaf off right here in the center and then put another one. And that way you know how much space to line up. And then I'm going to flip this over and then go off the page, which is okay. But the reason why I flipped it up is so that way we would not have any overage right here. So now that is ready to go. So now, because I used the regular water-based ink, now I can go and use my chamois. Now when you see the chamois in the catalog, can you see the full thing in the catalog? No, I don't think so. It fits this whole thing. But because of my kitty cats, I cut my stuff into 4 pieces. Also, when I do events, that way I can put a chamois at each table rather than having to buy a full chamois for 4 different tables. That gets kind of spendy on my part. Okay, so now we can kind of put some things together while those dry. Let's do the inside greeting. Now this inside greeting, like I said, is from the Wonderful Thoughts. And so you can do inside and outside cards. So you're wonderful, you're loved, you matter. You've come so far and accomplished so much. Congratulations. I like this one a lot. It's okay to fall apart. I'm still here for you. So happy that you're my person. That's the reason why I got this card, or this one. This is only the beginning of a life filled with love. Thinking of you. You are much appreciated, so that's what we're going to use today. My heart will always be tied to yours. Hi, friend. You can do amazing things. Thanks. Hello. And I also like this one a lot. I'll listen to your silence when words are just too much. And once this retires, I will not be getting rid of it because that speaks to my heart. All right. So we are going to use this memento and just tap, tap, tap. Oops, I almost went crooked. There we go. And so that's the inside of the card. And I'm going to clean that off. Okay, so let's see. This piece right here is basic black, and it's going to sit closer to the left side, but equidistant from the top and the bottom, and not necessarily the same over here. Okay, so we're gonna put our adhesive on here. I'm just positioning it to where I like it, eyeing it. If you wanted to use your grid on your mat to make sure that you're exact, you could do that. Speaking of that, this glass mat is available in my online store while supplies lasts. It was not available to the public for quite a bit, and to other demonstrators for quite a bit. It was an incentive for when you joined Stampin' Up! And you got your kit, then you can get it for free. And so demonstrators were able to pay for it that were already demonstrators like me, and I got one. And I have never heard of a glass mat before, and I didn't know why I needed one, but holy crap, I absolutely love mine. Okay, so I'm going to go get my Stampin' Cut Emboss machine, and I'm just going to use the little guy right now, just because we're doing one little piece. So we'll get the bigger guy out once we're ready. Now, the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine sits folded, so the big one and the little one. And so the little one stays closed up, but my big one stays open. And mine's well loved. It's cracking. Very, very, very well loved, like I said. So I'm using this. Come on, there you go. I want to make sure I have enough space and I'm straight with my thanks down here. Okay, so I'm going to use my Post-it note to hold it in place. And then one thing about this one is when you have your plates, this is plate number 1, cutting plate number 2. When you place, you want to stagger them. So when you put your cutting plate on top, match it up to equal the one that's on the bottom. So it looks like a 3. Okay? And so we're going to put that through. That's Post-it note's going to run through and it's just going to get whacked out, but I don't care. I've already used that one several times, so it's still sticky. And I'll just take that off and we'll reuse it in just a few seconds because I want my end closer. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this, line that up with the edges that kind of get embossed there. Oh, that broke. I don't know why that didn't cut that off. Well, guess what? We're going to fix that. Okay. So we're going to line that up with the embossed area that it puts on there automatically. And so we're going to shorten this a little bit, and then we're going to fix that side. That wasn't planned. The shortening was, yes, to show you that, you know, just because it's this particular size doesn't mean you need to keep it that way. And so it cut off that little piece because my greeting doesn't take up a lot of space, but because that didn't go well, we're just gonna move that down just a tad bit. So we're gonna get a complete piece. Again, we're going to line it up with the embossed edges that it automatically puts in there. And that will be fixed. And nobody will even know that that piece was cut off. Okay, there we go. And whoever wins this card, you're going to send it to somebody. You saw how this was made, but they're not going to sit there and say, well, she had to cut something out off that because it didn't work out right. But you know what? It's live crafting. All right. I hopefully will get the winners that I have picked for quite a while. See how that's all the way around now. Okay, so I have picked my winners. Now I have to finish them, you know, putting the greeting on the inside and then the addresses and get to the post office. This weekend wasn't a very good weekend to stay in the house, or I should say apartment. I planned on going dancing on Friday because I bought the tickets a long time ago, but Saturday I did not realize that there was something going on Saturday, and I'm like, oh man, there's something going on Saturday. So yeah, and then my husband's in the hospital right now. He'll be gone for a while, and which is a good thing. And oh, what is that? Why does it look like there's water on there? I don't have any water. It's like a water drop. Oh, okay. Okay. I do not know, but you know what? It's gone now. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut these out, but I'm actually going to take my piece and just kind of burnish it and kind of see if it's dry. It's pretty good. Okay. So, what that means to me is I can drop the dies on the floor and pick them up and do a crunch at the same time. Okay, exercise, right? While crafting. All right. I'm going to get the big one now. And this is the big Stampin' Up! Cut and die machine and Stampin' Cut and Boss machine. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to put this circle on, and we're going to cut a little bit off, and I'm actually going to put a sticker, a post-it note on, so that it hopes that it stays in place. I don't want it to get wonky and cut something off that shouldn't have. And then this is going to actually cut a ring around it. This one's going to actually emboss a ring around it. So we're just going to put that like that. And I'm trying to put it so it's a little bit more to the left. So, because we're going to overlap the circles, and I want to see quite a bit of the leaf. And so I don't want to hide a lot of my design. So I'm going to put it more like that. Okay, and I'm going to grab another Post-it. So that one doesn't move either. Here we go. And then we're going to put the plate back on it, number 3, because we have the base plate number 1. We have number 2, which can come off when you're doing a folder and using the gray plate. And then you have the 2 cutting plates. So those are number 3. All right, so, oh, I just moved that. So now we're going to now you're going to hear some cutting. and some cracking, and that's okay because that's what they do. And we're going to pull that back out. And I flip these like this, and so that it's not constantly, I rotate them. So then that way you have a different version. Now see how that's embossed all the way around? Isn't that cool? Okay, and I'm going to try to see if I could take some of the StazOn. It got a little ink on there, and I'll try to clean that up because I don't want, when my next card uses that, I don't want the StazOn to get on the next thing. And see, now look at the cutouts on that one. That one's pretty cool. All right, so those are ready. And then I'm just going to remove this. And then we're going to use the die brush to get out the little circles. Now, if you don't mind making a mess, I don't like making a mess if I have to, so I like to use the die brush. But if you don't have the die brush, you can use like an ink pad and take this and go like that. And then you can fling. I don't really like that idea. So for me, I'm just showing you, if you don't have the die brush and you put it on your order, then you can, you know, keep your area looking semi put together. And I'll just throw those in the way. But then what you do, this is the take your pick tool. I have two of them. Okay, so this is how the take your pick tool looks. This is this. So you unscrew this and you put that one there. Well, if you get two, then you don't have to constantly unscrew. So now I have a dedicated take your pick tool and the people poker to clear out my dies. And so you can either just go like this. And my friend, she goes like, and she says, yeah, you have to make that noise whenever you use the die brush. And I'm like, nah, you don't have to. You might have some people looking at you like you're weird. And then I'm like, I got people doing that already, so I guess I don't care. All right, so all that's out. And then, you know, if you're doing a bunch of them, you just wait until your container gets all dirty, and then you just take it and toss it in the recycling bin, and off you go to the next part. So that's how I do it. And again, this is foam. Yeah, this is the reason why I actually found out that I had a cat that liked foam. Is because that's why I have 3 of these. Is because I had a cat that took one of these, and I have no idea where he took it because he's been gone and we moved out of the house. So he must have shredded that really good because I never found it. Okay, put that back. And now we're ready to assemble. Okay. All right, here's some more of that stuff. Come on. Okay, bits and pieces. You know, one more. There we go. Okay, so I am going to take this and I'm going to apply it to here. I don't want it to overlap the top, but it can overlap the side. And so I want to know where kind of to not put my adhesive. So on where my fingers are. Okay. And I want to kind of tilt it off, and I want it to go right to the edge. Okay. And this might be still a tad there might be, you know, a part there. I don't want it to smear, so I'm going to burnish it by turning it upside down. Laura, hi there, little lady. How you doing? Welcome in. All right, so, and then we're going to take this one and we're going to put dimensionals on it. And so we're going to flip that upside down and grab my Take Your Pick tool, because that is my favorite way of putting dimensionals on. Okay, and so at a slight angle, stab and grab those backings. That one didn't go. Yep, it did now, because it's sticky. All right, that one didn't go. Come on, let's go. There we go. And another one. There we go. All four of them are on the end of that, and yep, they're sticky. So they're not all over the floor. They're not all over my table. I could take this and put this back where it goes. And see, it just stuck a little bit. So I didn't want to, you know, I didn't want to smear it. So that's the reason why I had it on here. All right, so then now, again, we don't want it to overhang. And it can overhang off that way, probably about the same. There's a fuzzy right there, and it was bugging me. And I don't know what that is. So let's see. I think. All right. What is that? It's like something popping up. All right. And then this is the butterfly that we cut out of the same paper as this one. And we're going to put that up here. So we're going to put that on dimensionals too. And like I said, I cut that one out before when I was doing my sample. I did another one. So that way it had enough time to dry. You could try heat setting it, but I don't know what it would do to the, you know, the foil. If it, I don't say it would hurt it, but I didn't know what it would do to the foil. So I wasn't taking any chances. And that one I could push down because I know that that one is dry enough. Okay. Now, like I said, when you are using foil and you're stamping on it, you want to use the StazOn, which will take a little bit longer to drink, or to dry, to drink, because it's on foil. Okay. Let's see here. Now we're going to grab the mini dimensionals and the greeting. Now, where did the greeting go? Oh, right there. Actually, I think I could put the big dimensionals on there. So actually, we're going to put adhesive on this side because this one is already lifted up and this one is flat. So we're going to just put adhesive here. There's another of that. I'm going to find those little things out of those circles. All right. And I guess we could try. I think I used the big one on here. I think it's just perfect. Yep. Use the flat side because it works with that die so much better. And then stab and grab that backing. Toss it. And, you know, if you're mad, stamping is really good. You could just stab anything and you won't hurt anybody. Ah. Okay, so we're going to put that right there. So now there's adhesive there, attaching it, and it's on the same level. Okay, then we're going to grab our bow and grab the mini glue dot that comes right off of there. We're going to push down, and then we're going to squish. and put that right in the corner. And we're going to snip that off a little bit. All right. And you can tear this off whenever you want. The reason why I have this on is because when I move it back, it's going to pull the next mini glue dot in that's coming up next. And then that way I don't lose any. I mean, I'm paying for it. I don't want to waste it. Okay, so that is how it looks right now. And I have to say that this greeting is a tiny little crooked. So we're going to lift it up gently and just attach it. There we go. Much better. Okay, so then now we're actually pretty close to being done. We're going to take a little bit of the Wink of Stella. Probably wondering how I was going to use that on foil. Ha ha ha. I figured out a way. All right, so just the leaves. This is the same leaf that we used on the foil sheet. And I'm not doing the whole leaf. I'm just kind of doing like the which way the veins are showing. I mean, look at that, how shiny that is. I mean, it's pretty. Okay, so then now I'm going to show you something where I got my idea. On page 23, they have these card sketches down at the bottom. So that one was right there, my idea. However, I'm still not done yet because I'm changing it up a little bit. We're going to actually add some color to the back. Alrighty, come on. I just changed my refill. Okay. So now it doesn't show having that back color there. But see how much that changed that card and made it a little bit more rich looking? So I kind of upped it a little bit. So this one doesn't have that butterfly in the corner, but I'm also going to add some gems to it, and you do not see any embellishments. So this one is stamped with the leaf, this one is stamped with the flower, and I cut both sides of that off. We stamped the inside of the leaf in basic beige. Okay, so now let's add the adhesive back metallic gems. Now a lot of the time I will actually cut this part off my embellishment case because it generally shows you what you get, but it generally closes off one side and you don't see what you have. So I generally cut a little snippet off so that I know what colors are up there, just in case I am looking for something specific. Okay, so then now I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm going to use my putty side. All right, so we're going to grab the copper, put the large one down at the bottom, And then I'm going to grab, I like when Stampin' Up! Gives us 3 different sizes. Because when you use the number of 3, they don't give us more little small ones. Either they keep this number, you know, the certain way, and then give us double of the small ones of each color, because it doesn't work out numerically, and irritates me. And mine is backwards right now. There we go. So there's that. And I'm going to grab another small one, because then I'm going to end up with a bunch of big ones at the end. And I don't like that. And I'm going to stick that one up by the leaf. So I created a triangle with those embellishments. So you got shiny and shiny and shiny, and then you got sparkly on the inside. So what do you think? Do you like this card? Give me a thumbs up or a heart. And that will get you entered into the drawing. And then if you leave a comment like, wow, that's a beautiful card, or whatever you want to say, you're right, Joy, that card is gorgeous. Yeah. You can get entered into the drawing by just saying hi. And then share this on your timeline if you enjoyed this card and how simple it was. It's Joy Simple. It's not crafts or paper, stamps, inks, and paper. There's a little bit of dye and a little bit of embellishments, but we took that and we ran with it just a little bit. I mean, we could certainly, you know, upscale it a little bit more, but I didn't want to scare anybody off. So I want to say thank you very much for hanging out with me on a Sunday evening. And thank you very much, Judy. I'm glad you like it. Let's see. Yeah. I have no idea what Thursday will bring. I do plan on going live. I have no idea what I'm going to be doing yet. I designed this card today, but it all depends on what time I get off of work. And like I said, Mike's in the hospital, so I don't know what days I'm going to go visit him. So again, thank you very much. And hopefully you have a great week. Hopefully I'll be back on Thursday. So happy stamping.